Julian Timber out for months, though the website of Arsenal have gone ahead to give us some good information about the injury, where it is, and how we expect it to go on. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. It's the Arsenal News Show, and we are talking Matitana on his spell at Arsenal, whether he liked his stay at Arsenal or not. He has gone ahead to talk to ESPN. We're going to let you know what he has gone ahead to say about Arsenal. And then there is another story concerning Martin Odegaard being hailed by Nketiah. Smash the like button close to 400 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. RD is my name. You can as well follow us on Twitter at Rokani Media Football to find more of the stories that you don't obviously access here. This is the Rokani Media Football, and here we come in peace to obviously tell you what our thoughts are about this injury of Julian Timber. Now, very many people have gone ahead to put out stories concerning Julian Timber, and first it was Sami Mikbel coming in from the Daily Mail, and this was his take. He said, Mail Sport understands there are major concerns that Julian Timber may have suffered a significant knee ligament injury that will keep him sidelined for months rather than weeks. That is coming in from Sami Mikbo. He's a chief football reporter for the Daily Mail. He concluded by saying Julian Timber has been undergoing various tests and scans as Arsenal medics look to assess the extent of the damage suffered against Nottingham Forest. There were initial concerns that Timber has damaged his interior ligament, but those fears are unconfirmed. That is coming in from Sami Mikbel. After him, we got a story coming in from James Beng. He works for CBS Sport, and he said Julian Timber underwent initial scans on Monday, but it could take several days before a defined time scale for his recovery becomes clear. It is believed that further examinations may be needed to ascertain whether Timber suffered any meniscus damage, and that is coming in from James Beng. Then Mark V. Wage, credible journalist coming in from Netherlands, working for the Telegraph, who broke most of the stories concerning Julian Timber, confirmed us that sources close to Julian Timber confirm after initial investigation that he has injured his interior cruciate ligament and will be out of action for several months. Now, all these came out and obviously issued their thoughts about this until when Arsenal went ahead and put up a statement about Julian Timber. The statement from Arsenal read, Timber has received extensive assessments and scans which have confirmed he has sustained an injury to his right knee. Julian Timber will undergo a further detailed assessment and review with a consultant in the coming days to assess the full extent of the injury. That is coming in from Arsenal, and they concluded by saying, in order to determine the next steps, a further update will be provided in the due course, meaning that it's obviously getting ugly for Arsenal. You know why this is a very big blow to Arsenal? It's because this is one of the players they signed, and he's a versatile player. He can play as a right back, he can play as a left back, he can play as a center forward, and can play as a central defensive midfielder. That is Julian Timber, and you saw to it that he is the player that best fitted in Arsenal so far out of the four that they've gone ahead to sign at the club of Arsenal. So this leaves them in a very huge dilemma as far as this is concerned, because you obviously ask yourself, why is it Julian Timber? If I thought it was Kai Havertz, you would have said, all right, even if it's Declan Rice, because Arsenal right now can obviously live without Declan Rice or Kai Havertz, because Partey, Jorginho, Odegaard, Emile Smith-Rowe are all available and can obviously get the job done. But for Julian Timber, it's really one of those positions that Arsenal need to obviously have him, because he is really versatile, and Arteta was willing to rotate him in different positions, like in the central defense, right back, left back, and so on and so forth. And his availability had maybe given Arteta a lot of hope that maybe if at all Zinchenko is back, he might be having two wide references as far as being press resistant is concerned in Julian Timber and Zinchenko. But Looks like Julian Timber is going to be out for months. Arsenal is not going to hate to confirm, but it looks like that ligament that is going to hate obviously suffer when he's really playing Nottingham. It looks like he's going to be out for very many months for the club of Arsenal. So as it stands, Timber is out for several months, and it's going to need some several days to get the real extent of the injury. But Arsenal are really gonna give us an update of this player, that is Julian Timber. So wait and see how that pans out, but that means Arsenal might find themselves going back to the transfer window to get in other players. Because if at all you're having Gabriel Jesus injured, you're having Julian Timber injured, out for months, that means you have to obviously get something new and something better. That is it. So that is it coming in from Arsenal, and very many other credible sources coming in from Arsenal about the Julian Timber injury. And it's really huge, and it has really gone ahead to take a different step altogether at the club of Arsenal, and worry is obviously bubbling around the Emirates and London Conley. Now, after that, we have a story coming in from Nketiah. Nketiah is one of those players that really scored the first goal of the game that Arsenal saw them beat by Nottingham by 2-1. He has gone ahead and always said the following about the captain, that is Martin Odegaard, that he's amazing just to play with. I enjoy playing with him so much. He's such a creative player. I like to make runs in, behind, and he always looks for me. Off the field, as well, he's such a good guy, really good, disciplined player, always in one time and hardworking. That is Nketiah coming in third, and obviously giving Martin Odegaard his flowers. That is it. Now, let me bring you the facts that most of you have not yet got ahead to know about Martin Odegaard. I've always come out on several occasions and called him the best player at Arsenal. And of course he is, because his attributes are as rare as water in a desert. That is it. All what Nketiah is going to talk about is what Odegaard offers to the centre forwards of Arsenal. He's not greedy. You know, there are some people that play as CDM. Their main aim is obviously to really serve the centre forward, but they end up really even outscoring them. But for Martin Odegaard, he'll only shoot at goal when it's the only option he's left with. But every time there is any player ahead of him, he obviously finds it easy to obviously do what we call a pass that releases the ball. That's why Nketiah is really giving him the flowers, and really deserves them, because there is no player that does it better at Arsenal than Martin Odegaard. So for Nketiah, looks like this one is going to be really good for him, because he went ahead to score against Nottingham Forest, and I think on Monday, that is next Monday, they're going to be playing away at Crystal Palace. I anticipate that he's going to start, as Nketiah is going to reward him, see to it that he obviously finds himself into another scoring position as they are playing Crystal Palace. Remember, Jesus is also expected to return in the game of Crystal Palace, but I think it's really going to be a very highly contested game 4. So Odegaard is the captain of Arsenal, and I think he's really leading them very well, and he saw to it that he's really a man who takes responsibility and doesn't fear it, when he obviously went ahead to take the first penalty at the Wembley Stadium when they are winning the community sorry about that, when they're winning the Community Shield against Man City. You remember Neymar, at the World Cup, instead of going ahead to obviously start off the penalties, he didn't. And that's how Croatia knocked out the Brazilian side. So that is Julian Timber out for months. Now, after that, let's do a little bit about Matitana. He came in through and played against Arsenal for the very first time in his career in the Premier League, having been sold at Nottingham Forest in the midweek. So he started for Nottingham Forest in between the stitches at the Emirates. Now, he said at his time at Arsenal, It was always a good stepping stone for my career to play for Arsenal, to be at Arsenal. It helped me to become number one for the national team and play in the World Cup, and that was always the goal. And now I found myself playing in the EPL at another club. That is Matitana for you. And obviously he has to go ahead and overhaul Arsenal because Arsenal gave him the platform to be known to Nottingham Forest. Because I don't see Nottingham Forest going in America to get in this guy. That is it. I think he's going ahead to obviously give Arsenal the props that they desired, because it's Arsenal that signed him from they signed him from America and obviously brought him here, and that's where they saw his potential, and that's why they've gone ahead to sign him at Nottingham Forest. Now, he said on if he regrets joining Arsenal because of lack of playing time. He said, sure, but obviously I didn't do enough to earn that, so I'm self-aware enough. I thought I did well in the opportunities that I had to play, but again, the team is at the top of the table for most of the season, and that is one of the things that really he believes that he is really proud of, for obviously being in that Arsenal team that was into the top of the table for the lion share of the season that was concluded in 2022-2023, and now he comes in through to play for a side known as Nottingham Forest. So guys, your thoughts on to Julian Timber out for months at Arsenal. We are yet to confirm the number of months is really going to be out for Arsenal, but it's a huge injury blow that Julian Timber is going to be out for months. As the signings Arsenal have gone ahead to make, this is the guy that had fit into that Arsenal team like a glove. You thought that, you could even think that he has been playing for Arsenal for a very long period of time, yet that wasn't the case. He has been at Arsenal for just months, like 2 months. So that is Julian Timber for you, and here he comes in at Arsenal and doing the necessary duties, but he's really out. And your thoughts onto that injury is welcome in the comment section below. Do you think Arsenal is going to find themselves in a position of obviously going in the transfer market to sign in other players because Julian Timber is really injured? You can also share your thoughts onto that into the comment section below. Now, tell me about Martin Odegaard getting his flowers from Nketiah, who says that Odegaard has always released him and given him the passes that he wanted. Do you think it's realistic of Odegaard? Yes or no? Because most of you say have an agenda over some Arsenal players, but there are those that really love and give him the best that they deserve. I know some people have gone ahead to front their rivalry between Man United and Arsenal, and they really use it as a yardstick or a benchmark for my views, but that's not my benchmark. I really believe that we can do more better than that if I do analyze these things and give out the realistic evaluation of every player. And lastly, let's discuss a little bit about let's have a discussion about Matitana, on whether his spell at Arsenal was really productive. Yes or no? All that in the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. And for the Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. I sign out for now. See you later.